It's 3 a.m. again. I'm lying in bed staring at the ceiling fan as it spins in endless, lazy circles. The cold air brushes over my clammy skin, but it does nothing to soothe the goosebumps crawling up my arms. I'm drenched in sweat, cold, sticky, and suffocating. The past 3 nights have been the same. I've gone to bed at 9:30 each evening, trying to rest, but sleep refuses to come. It started earlier this week, the night I got the first call. I woke suddenly at 2 a.m., heart pounding. My phone buzzed loudly on the nightstand, its harsh glow filling the dark room. The caller ID read, "Unknown number." Without thinking, I picked it up. Hello? I croaked, my voice cracking in the stillness. The response was immediate. 8 years at this place and nothing to show for it. The voice was familiar, like an echo bouncing back at me. Before I could react, the call ended. Silence swallowed the room. Confused but too exhausted to think, I dropped the phone back onto the nightstand and fell into a fitful sleep. The next night, the phone rang again, this time at 2:30 a.m. I stared at the glowing screen, heart thudding as dread seeped into my chest. Against my better judgment, I answered. "How could you?" a voice screamed on the other end, over and over. I froze. It wasn't just any voice, it was mine. I bolted upright in bed, clutching the phone. "Hello? Who is this? What do you want?" I shouted into the receiver, my voice shaking, but the screaming continued. "How could you? How could you? How could you?" The call ended abruptly, leaving me sitting in the dark with the echoes of my own voice ringing in my ears. Desperate for answers, I scoured Reddit, searching for reports of scam calls or pranksters who could mimic someone's voice, but there was nothing. Instead, I fell down a rabbit hole reading about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. His crimes, his victims, things I hadn't thought about in years. When I finally drifted off to sleep, my dreams were dark and tangled, full of shadows that whispered my name. The next morning, I found a sticky note on my front door. It was from my neighbor across the hall. "Enough with the screaming. Some of us have work in the morning. Do it again, and I'm calling the cops." I stared at the note, my heart pounding. I hadn't screamed last night. Tonight, I went to bed early again, but my thoughts wouldn't let me rest. Memories clawed their way to the surface, sitting in my cubicle at my dead-end job, my boss telling me my position was being terminated due to limited growth, driving home in tears, screaming at the steering wheel, pulling into my parking space to find an unfamiliar car parked there. Then, nothing. A black void where a memory should be. I woke to the sound of my phone buzzing. The clock read 3:33 a.m. My chest tightened as I picked up the phone, my hand trembling. This time I didn't speak. I just listened. "Don't open the door," my voice said mockingly, followed by unhinged laughter that made my blood run cold. Then the line went dead. Before I could process it, a soft, playful knock echoed from my closet door. My stomach turned, and the air grew thick with the putrid scent of rot. I sat up in bed, my body moving on autopilot. My feet touched the cold floor, and I began walking toward the closet as if pulled by an invisible string. The closer I got, the stronger the smell became, metallic and rancid, like something long dead. My hand hovered over the doorknob, shaking violently. Suddenly, a thunderous banging erupted from the front door. "Greenville police, open the door! We know what you did! Don't make this worse for yourself!" I froze, my mind spinning. Which door was the voice on the phone talking about? Panic surged through me as I stumbled into the kitchen and shoved the refrigerator in front of the apartment door, my breathing ragged. I slid to the floor, pulling my knees to my chest. My body rocked back and forth as laughter bubbled up uncontrollably from deep inside me. "Which door?" I whispered to myself, the question circling in my mind. Which door? The knocking from the closet grew louder, rattling the door in its frame. Then it stopped. My breath hitches as I hear the door creak open from the next room, spilling darkness into the room.